Alright, greetings everyone. Today is 8th of September 2017. You may call me Hauffman. It's currently around midnight, and we're going to start our series of analysis over Darkwood. What is this series of analysis if you're not used to it yet? We are going to actually discuss a little bit about the game mechanics, game design in general, and perhaps even game development for Darkwoods. Yes, analyze why is it the game it is, if it's supposed to be bad or good. But the idea here is actually to give you the tools you need in order to make your, let's say, own review. Yes, to get to know the game, to have an opinion and a point of view upon the game. Of course, I'm going to give you my feedback. I'm going to instigate you questions. So if you want to take part in the discussions we are going to carry on here, or for any other reason, just leave your comment in the section below. Yes, just remember to be respectful about the other people's point of view, or opinions. Yes, just as to be respectful about my own opinion and point of view, right? So yeah, I was laughing here because actually I was just testing the game. Yes, and as I was trying to test the game, I actually got carried away and played the game far longer than I should have played. I'm actually on day 23 in the game. I'm pretty far off. Actually, pretty much on the first part of the game. I've played all the first area of the game, or I think you can call that way. So I know a little more than I should, perhaps. Yes, and that might actually not. It might have been more interesting to show, to play the game fresh. Yes, to show you how a new player behave in front of Darkwoods. But that's okay. We may leave that for another occasion. Before we go on with the play the game, yes, to start it, let me tell you that the Darkwoods was developed by Acid Wizards Studios. Let's give the proper recognition for this guy's work. It was released this year, 2017. It's the Acid Wizard Studio is a team of 3 guys and a dog. Yes, I think that's important thing to tell, especially because, man, how these guys managed to pull off a game like this. Yes, I suppose there's something special about them, and that might be the dog. I'm suspicious of that. Anyway, so it's a top-down survival horror game. Actually, not any type of horror. It's the perfect example, perhaps, of psychological horror. Many people claim, or many developers claim that, but they end up not really being psychological, more like a jump scare type of game. Not really the case of this one. You'll see what I mean in a minute. And by last, of course, but not least important, or not less important. Yeah, I think that's how they say it. You can buy the game on Steam, good old game in Humble Store. Yeah, so if you like the game, if you already like what you're seeing here, go ahead and buy it. Don't allow me to actually spoil the fun for you, so buy it and go play it. Yes, it's not that forgiving, let me tell you. I think you can handle it yourself, so give it a go. And here we go. You are playing a challenging and unforgiving game. Not that unforgiving, not in the normal difficulty at least. You'll not be led by hand, different from most of the games nowadays. Respect the woods, be patient, focus. So yeah, I think that's a valid tip from the developers, because many games kind of spoil us today, and if you're playing used to what games are nowadays, you may be a little too hasty with this game, end up failing time after time. So it's important that they actually gave you that tip. The prologue. Let's see what do we have here story-wise. It's a very story-intense game, mind you. I see hatred and fear in their eyes. I can see. Is that 2 vultures? There are vultures, no, 2 people in their flash silhouettes. That's the word I was looking for. As if I was responsible for spreading the disease. Yeah, I think I can see 2 people in their reflection. There's a sick person there. As if I were the source of all the misery and plague in this town. Is he holding a cigarette? That might have been what killed him, or caused him to be the way he is. Some feet, I'm guessing. I have nowhere to hide from them, nowhere to run. The woods have closed us off from the outside world. Must be a pretty terrible thing to actually be blamed and be chased by people that way. We're all doomed. Yeah, it's the image of 2 people. Who are they? Try and remember that, perhaps to connect the dots later on. And was this guy's Wait, was that this guy's dream? Because he was sleeping. Was he the one supposedly held responsible for the disease? I don't know. I think at some point we'll find out about that. So yeah, you can see here, no kidding, top-down horror game. Now, if someone told me that developer made a top-down horror game, I would actually laugh at his face. Really, I don't know how would someone make a top-down horror game. I don't know how that's possible. But they managed to pull it out somehow. Yes, I'm impressed with this guy's work. That's why I actually started this series. Yes, to let more people know about that, what they did here. So yeah, some basic mechanics being presented to you, that you can loot things, and being a top-down game actually makes it all much easier. Homemade device for producing moonshine. I mean, much easier for the player to learn the mechanics, to the navigation. Even newer players might even have an easier time getting used to the game. I know these notes by heart. I don't want to read them now, neither do I. The potatoes, the only edible thing grown on this land. I still have some left. So yeah, you can learn some basic things. The developer here supposes training the player to deal with the road, or to be capable of. The generator is almost out of juice. I need to find a full gasoline can. I saw a broken tractor to the east. Maybe I could find some gasoline there. So yeah, apparently the developers are training the player. Very interesting thing that they do here. Some developers don't do that properly, or don't do that at all. The cage this time they're empty. So is this for animals or for people? By the size, I suppose it's for animals, but I don't know. Let's see here. I would rather not open it. I spent too much time to lock him in there. So perhaps it's for people. Who knows? Even though, if that's for people, why is he inside there, not inside here? Anyway. Yeah, I'm not going to bother much with looting things. Yes, because the prologue doesn't make much sense. I think it's just to get the player used to the mechanics of the game. What was that? Something, I didn't read that, but I think you read that. Yes, that is some very old tools that he doesn't use anymore because the patients cannot be treated or something of the sort. I'm not sure about that. I have to go for a tractor, but I need a key. Locked. I think I left the key in the wardrobe. Let's go for that. So you can only select interact with objects within your reach. The interaction range is indicated by the color changing cursor. Now, while these developers are actually, I just woke up, are actually showing, the radio has been silent for years, although sometimes I think you can hear voice through the statics. Although these developers are actually getting us used to the game, some developers don't do that. Yes, I know this notes by heart. I don't want to read them now. Now, while that may be fair game, I think that's kind of unfair. We have some stuff to pick up. Yeah, let's pick it up. Oh yeah, so I think we can tell this guy is a medic or something. And he was trying to research the disease. Might have been the one that people blame, you know, that we saw on the prologue there, but I don't know. So we can see that he's been researching this disease or something. I think it's fair for the developer to train the player, because each game has its own rules and its own physics and whatnot, so we don't know what is really possible. While in this game it's not possible to break down walls, let's say, perhaps in other game it might be, and there's no way for you to tell in which game certain things are possible, in which game certain things are not possible. Lock, the finger left the key. Okay, you can read that up there. It's just to teach you how to the game works and how to navigate around. So it used to be a luxury, this car, but since all the access roads have been devoured by the woods, it became a useless pile of trash. How the hell did they end it this way? What's this? A wooden doll, a large humanoid doll with carved out face. Did you do that, dude? Yeah, you know, destroyed well. I can already have the feel of the game. Yes. Another important feature here is that you have a range of vision. Yes, or how do they call a cone of field of view. Yes. And dog. My dog. I don't think he's going to make it. I should end his suffering. I look in pretty bad shape. Poor dog. You can vault over obstacles like fences or windows. Yes, you can see this is all training. Good thing that the developers actually did so and just didn't throw you at the game. Now I'm trying to think a game that did that. Recently I played Theme Hospital, and they didn't really properly train you, yes, to play the game. I think that it could be a good example. I was thinking also, I'm not going to kill the dog. I don't think I would do that in real life. I would have the guts to do that. With a weapon selected, yeah, so fighting mechanics. It's a bit tricky, challenging, but I think it's fair, yes. It gets them used to, and while now these trees are growing too fast. Soon I won't be able to cut them down fast enough. Now I might be actually, yeah, snare traps. I must be careful. The woods are full of them. No freaking kidding. Now, while I might be a little bit better trained with the combat, usually I still get beat the shit out of me quite often. I think I can say so. The map. Your position on the map is not marked. When discovered a new location, it will be added to a map. Your location is indicated in red. In order to not get lost, you need to learn how to determine your position relative to the discovered location landmarks. Interesting way of navigating they choose here, instead of just they're really not taken by hand. They would have devoured all the roads that connect us to the outside road. No one is able to pass through this thicket. I think these guys are dead. They are like some limbo or hell or something. I'm already starting to theorize about the story. But who knows, let's go on and find out. Perhaps this really just an isolated place. Who knows? So you already can feel the very heavy atmosphere, but very good one, cool one for a story game. And perhaps you already can make up. Sorry, it was too fast there. I couldn't read what was there. But if you play the game, you can read that, and perhaps you already are made up your mind. Yes, you can already try it, and please do so. These parts of the woods are dark. I should craft a torch. Okay, do so. Yes, try the game yourself. Do not get yourself spoiled. It gets a little bit of patience, perhaps, to get used to the combat and whatnot. But if you persevere, you will get some great experience out of this game. Again, you can buy the game on Steam, Good Old Game, and Humble Store. And right now, like I told you, I recommend you to do so. Stop the video, play the game, then perhaps you might want to come back to have some different point of views upon the game mechanics and know what is this analysis I have to provide to you. Yes. What was that? A new location found. Yeah, so I'm quite. What's this? A corpse. In a few days, it will be completely absorbed. Yeah, you can see that this the setting for the store in the game is pretty. Yeah, you can see it's pretty macabre or strange. Let's say there's I don't know. I think the name of this animal is a moose, and so it's half a moose and half a person. Yeah, you can see here that it has a pretty interesting setting. This game, yes, and it has everything to be a very good horror game, and not a spooky, sorry, not spooky, a jump scare game, but a psychological game indeed. You can tell, I think, that is a good. I can see here another half person, half dog thingy. That's a good psychological game, I suppose, due to the sound and the music. We're going to talk about all of that eventually, but I think that's what defines this game as a good, or tells us that this game is really a psychological game instead of just a jump scare one. So if you, again, like that kind of idea, go play it for yourself. I think this one is still breathing, unconscious man. It has a key. If there is an exit out of this woods, this key will surely open. Why? Okay, so it has a number 21 on it. There's a cutscene. He's unconscious. I've never seen him around here before. How did he get here? He has a key. Perhaps he used the key. He's only carrying a key in some journal. Is he a reporter, journalist, or perhaps an investigator? Since he managed to sneak in here, he must know how to get out. And why he's unconscious? Of course, he won't help me voluntarily. He didn't think about that fact yet, that he's unconscious. But that, perhaps he's an investigator or a detective or something. This guy we found is of no importance. Even though the character we are playing right now, I think it's sure looks like a doctor or something like that. A bad doctor, apparently, because he's going to do some nasty stuff, apparently. I need to get out of this cursed forest. You hear me, rat? Rat. Show me how and I will let you go. Yeah, I think he's desperate or something. I sometimes hear her voice. Whose voice? She's calling me. Calling me to return home. So, I don't know, perhaps his wife or his daughter. Well, he doesn't live here, apparently. He's stuck here. But it's the exit. Well, the reason why he wants to leave or something. I don't know. Where? Where's the exit? Where is it? Show me where. Yeah, not impersonate the character. I'm just reading it for you in case you can't read it for some reason. So, not really bothered much with impersonating the characters. I'll kill you like a dog if I have to. Yeah, pretty nasty man, doctor. Not a good person, apparently. But again, he's desperate. Yes, these are ultra extraordinary. This is an extraordinary situation, let's say. So you're not really yourself, yes, or you end up doing things that never imagined you could do. I suppose. The fucker stole my key. What's that key for, dude? Tell us. He will tell us eventually, I suppose. What is this? Some rag and some wire. I'm hurt. I could use these rags to craft some bandages to heal myself. Alright, let's get to that. So yeah, basic stuff that you can get done here. So you can know what is possible and what is possible in the game, and what is it that you're going to need in order to survive the game, or at least have a fair chance of surviving. Of course, there will be a few things that you have to figure out for yourself. The game set, the developers told you in the game that an entry to a small cellar, maybe a pantry. I don't know what's a pantry. Lock it. I could open it with a lockpick. The developer said that they weren't going to take us by hand. Yes, but they have actually been pretty forgiving. Yes. Some developers really don't care much about properly training the player or telling him how the game works or what's possible and what is impossible. Yes. Somehow they expect us to know this item is no longer usable. Expect us to know how the game works, figure it out ourselves or something. Ooh, he's a magician or something, or perhaps a ninja. How the hell he did that? He disappeared out of thin air. What do I have to do here? Leave? Wait, the door's barricaded? Better not to leave the house at night, it's safer. Yeah, it's not an important tip over there or information for you. Syringe. Okay, so that's what he used to inject us, suppose. What do I have down here? The radio. Yeah, this is the point where you have to start thinking for yourself. Yes, you hear that? That this sound design, the guy who designed the sound is really a good professional here. Really good stuff sound-wise. So here's where it starts for you, where the whole thing of not getting by the hand starts. Yes, you have to figure out that there might be something behind the wardrobe, and that's actually something really delicate, I suppose, because it all depends on your experience on real life, perhaps, and even in games. Yes, so a player who has never played a metal table with leather belt strapped on, a player who has never played any game before might never have thought that he could perhaps even move the wardrobe, or there could be a door behind it. So yeah, it really varies from player to player, and it's a very delicate thing, yes, to discuss. Yes, if developers should actually train different types of players or different level of players that are out there. It's oh, this is a corpse. The corpse has two dials instead of eyes. His mouth is wide open. I can hear a distorted voice very distinguishable from the radio static. Turn on the generator. Turn on the generator. Yeah, I almost forgot to do that. There we go. This is an important mechanic too. To refill the generator, equip the gas in the tank. Hover your mouse cursor over the generator. Hold the right mouse button, followed by left to power the gas. Power. I don't know how to say that. Let's do that. Yeah. Now, as an example of how players can vary from, yes, can be very different on their abilities, their cognition. Now, the game taught us right now how to fuel a generator. Yes, that you have to turn it on. Now, in the first night, actually, or when I started the game, I did not know. What's this? Do you have anything to say? The corpse has two dials. Oh, okay. Like here, okay, nothing special. Oh, it has the number 589 5892 for this door here, I suppose. Yeah, the first night I actually had some gasoline on the wait four, okay, 4892 right there. The first night there was some gasoline on my generator, but after that it was out of juice. Yeah, here's another point where I don't know, you may try to get in and not really know how to open it because you have to put some force into it, but bashing it is perhaps a way to put some force on the door. You have to figure that out yourself. So the first night I actually ran out of gasoline and didn't remember how to actually fill the gasoline, the generator again with gasoline. So there we go. It's here's a player which develops one. Oh, son of a gun! Yeah, here's the combat. It's a bit tricky, yes, because there's a, let's say, a reload, not a reload, but there's a delay before the yeah, use the dodge and stuff like that. You have to need some getting used to. So there's a delay before the attack's ready, and there's a delay after the attack's ready. So you need to actually get used to the distance, to how much time it takes for the attack to happen. Yes. Plastic chick. Really. Now can we get out from the front door or something? No, we can't. We can't. We have to wait for this guy to talk. What do you want, dude? Or something like that. And how do you want to get out now? You think you can manage all by yourself? There's the atmosphere. I hear it. Oh shit! That's going to happen. Let's close the door. I know we can't survive this, but let's try and fight them. Maybe. I think they're going to come out of the windows. There's a lot of them there. Yeah, I knew there was a lot of them. You're not supposed to survive this encounter, this combat situation. So yeah, oh, there's a cutscene here. Is that a girl in the woods? And there's a guy, her father or something. Who's this man? I mean, I know who's this man, but in a way I don't know. He's helping us. He's lending his hand to help us. Is that girl his daughter or something? Is it like Silent Hill perhaps? I don't know. I think we're going to find out eventually. Chapter 1. Yeah, the game is separated by chapters. So I think I went all the way to the second chapter, but I stopped there, and I think I will try to stay there. But I don't know. I'm really enjoying the game, and sometimes I just can hold myself back, you know, and play more than I should. So anyway, that's an episode for you there. If you like what you saw, yes, up until now, again, stop watching the video, go buy and play the game, support these developers. Such a great work cannot go unsupported or without recognition, let's say. So you might want to actually buy the game and support them, right? So in any case, I thank you for your time. I hope you come by the next episode, as we're going to continue discussing about the game. Yes, doing analysis, perhaps even a review, who knows, and playing the game, find out more things about it. So hope to see you by the next episode. Until then.